This is Herb Scher from the Parent Assembly of the Society of American Magicians. We recently had a lecture with Xavier Spade, who taught us some very intense sleight of hand technique with playing cards. He also devoted part of his lecture to thoughts and advice about how assemblies like ours, magic clubs everywhere, can better use social media to reach out to a broader audience of folks who might be interested in what they're doing. We got into a very interesting conversation about the intersection of magic and new channels of media that are developing, and so we used this as an opportunity to launch our YouTube channel. We actually sat down with Xavier after the lecture and did a little interview. It was a lot of fun. I think you'll find it interesting. Here it is, our talk with Xavier.
Xavier, thanks a lot for coming to do a lecture with us. I'm here. I know we're supposed to do social media, but I'm actually right here. I'm in front of you. Okay, if we could get a monitor for you, then you could talk to the monitor, and then we this was a great lecture, by the way.
Thank you.
Everybody really enjoyed it a lot, even though a lot of stuff is very difficult. It's really challenging.
I wanted that.
Yeah.
I want the last couple of lectures I've done. I want people to see the challenging stuff, and I want them to see that it can be done. And I want them to see that it's not about being commercial or is it an easy reset or whatever these things, because it's basically all limited to what you can do. What's a worker routine for you is not a worker routine for me, based on what we're able to do. So,
what was cool is there were actually people here that could do some of this stuff. They've obviously been working on it for a long time, but you're right. So some of us who haven't tried that stuff are going, you're never going to be able to do that. But then you step over here and there's somebody that can actually do it.
Yeah, and I like seeing that. Like I said in the lecture, there was a 12-year-old kid who came up to me that was doing Raise Rise a couple of weeks after I released it, and it was unbelievable. And the potential of people can be so much greater if we stop imposing that you can't and you shouldn't. Just let them be free and experience.
Yeah. Now you were sort of, just to switch gears a little bit, you went really bold. You were sort of kicking us in the rear about getting our social media act together and doing stuff and really kind of getting with the times here at the Parent Assembly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we acknowledge that is something that we need to do. So thus we're starting our YouTube channel tonight.
Like, comment, subscribe.
But I want to say this to you though, just to kind of have a conversation about it. I mean, to me, we obviously do need to take advantage of modern channels of communication. But magic, I feel, is something that is a live art, that it happens in front of you, it happens in 3 dimensions.
So is acting. Years ago when acting was on the stage and they came out with the moving picture, everybody said the same thing. Acting is for the real world. Acting is for the people, and this, that, and the other.
Right.
And it grew into its own thing.
No, I don't want to get into an argument with you about it, but I would say that I like, the experience of going to the theater is more powerful than going to a movie.
Absolutely.
But let's just talk about magic.
But this is all the same. This is all the same. And what you're talking about is almost the death of something that's never going to die. There's always going to be a place for live performance. But there has to be a way to do television and movies too. Right. And the reason why I say this is when Broadway started moving to the moving picture, the problem was they were taking live acting and throwing it in front of the camera, and it didn't work. They had to develop it for that medium. And magic needs to develop for the mediums that it's going to be performed for. There's always going to be a place for live performance, but there's also going to be a place for magic on television and on social media.
Right, so this is what I want to ask you about it. Is it something different? I mean, is it an evolved state of our art?
It's an infant. It's probably the most infant of part of magic because it's been fought so much.
But what I'm saying is, should we look at it in a different way?
Yes.
Should we say there's this type of live magic traditional that we've been doing?
Yes, absolutely.
And now there's this
it has to develop.
Mediated kind of thing that it's going to be its own form.
Yeah, I think the best way to think of it like this is, what is the difference between the edge of a screen to use as a tool and the edge of a table to lap something? What's the difference? Yeah, what's the difference? There isn't.
Well,
I have a difference.
I know. Yeah, it's fine.
No, I mean the difference is that when there's a table, you have to make sure that everybody who is present is fooled by the angle that you're at and all of that. And you can manipulate the edge of a screen
so
that it's effective.
Exactly, and that's why it can be more powerful. Because if people can sit there and cry over Bambi, which is an obviously fake character, a deer that's a cartoon, and they can get emotionally attached, they can get emotionally attached into a TV show, TV magic, movie magic, all of these things. What we haven't figured out is what to do on these platforms yet. We're trying to ransack the stuff that we do live and make it work in front of a camera. Misdirection is different, timing is different, the way the angles have to work is different. In fact, it could be more powerful in some ways. Because there may be people who never see a magician, never get to go to a convention, never see a show. And it's not fair to say to them that they don't deserve to see it because it's not live.
Yeah, but isn't that like cheating?
No.
What? It's not like cheating?
I haven't run out of battery.
You know what? You know why it's not like cheating? Because
Why?
everything we do is cheating. So what's the difference?
Because one could be done. You can't take the trick done for TV and then do it live.
Yeah,
Because
and you can't put a TV show on a Broadway play either. It's a different platform. It's a different medium.
Right. So
and what you do
but
has to be
there's
different.
there's no wrong or right. I mean, it's really
Well,
what
there
you
is.
like.
The wrong is stopping people who want to progress,
Right.
and the right is helping them using the techniques that you know already to develop something new.
Right. But I think we all, well, I agree that we all have to look to the future and see what it's going to be. I mean, you know, and just, you know, accept that this can take many different forms. What we do can take many different forms. If in the end it's something that you personally don't like, you don't have to watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we do have to accept that the world changes. So that's, I mean, that's my point.
I
So thank you for, you know, kind of like bringing it to the fore.
Yeah, well, that's I want to. Because I've been privy, because of YouTube and social media, I've been privy to meet people who I never would have met that have such a hunger and a dedication that have never even heard of a Magic Club or SAM or IBM or anything, and they came. Some of them were here.
Yeah, but let's do this just as a way of wrapping up. Say that there is still a lot to be gained from a club like the Parent Assembly, I think,
Absolutely.
because I do think that the social aspect of it, meeting face to face, I think that sometimes with Magic you do need to be able to ask questions, you do need to be able to get personal feedback. So I think there's a value in the whole totality of it.
And I actually think it would bring back a small generation of the apprentice and the master type of thing. You know, somebody who sits under somebody and earns the right to learn certain things. I think some of that you can only get out of Magic Club, and I think some of that is correct and some of it is wrong. But the availability of it, I think, can help so many people if they just knew that it was out there and it wasn't just a place where people go and waste time.
This is so great. It's like the generations coming together right before us, bro. Thank you. And we also eat a lot of pizza in our group.
I'm lactose intolerant. Yeah, I am actually. Yeah, it's terrible, but I still eat pizza. It's got But thank you.
All right.